Hi, I'm Melissa. Welcome to Gentle Yoga and Wellness. Please make sure to subscribe so I can continue to post 3 new yoga videos each week. Today, I have a gentle Vinyasa flow yoga class. Throughout the class, I'll show different levels of modification, so please listen to your body and do what feels right for you. Okay, let's get started. Today, we'll start in tabletop position, so you'll want to come up onto your hands and your knees. In tabletop position, take a moment and make sure that your knees are stacked right under your hips, and then make sure that your wrists are stacked under your shoulders. Spread your fingertips out wide and take your gaze in front of you. We're going to start with some cat-cows here to warm up through the spine. So start to take an inhale and lift your chest. As you exhale, round through your back. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, round the back and push the ground away from you. Inhale, begin to lift the chest, come to cow pose. Exhale, round the back for cat pose. Do that a couple more times. Inhale and rise. Exhale, slowly release. Once more, inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, push the ground away from you. Good, you can come back to your tabletop position. From here, start to sit up tall on your knees. So lift your chest and sit up tall on your knees. You're going to take your right leg in front of you for a low lunge. So bend through the right knee, and you should feel a nice stretch in the top of your hip flexor. You can always walk your right foot a little bit closer to the top of your mat for a deeper stretch. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Take a moment here to find your balance. You're welcome to stay right here, or if you'd like to add a rotation, you can begin to take your hands to prayer center. Start to hinge forward from the waist. Link your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh and come into a prayer twist. We'll just pause here for a moment and breathe into this twist. As you inhale, think about lengthening through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, you can become to deepen your twist just a little bit. Good. Let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, you can release your arms down. Take both of your knees back together and sit up tall. From here, we'll come to high plank pose. So take your hands down to the mat, curl your toes under, and then lift your legs off of the mat. Option here to keep your knees lowered onto the mat for high plank pose. Listen to your body, do what feels right for you. In this pose, you'll want to engage your core. So think about squeezing your abdominals in. You might feel some heat in the body. So we're really starting to move our energy and prana today. From here, start to take some tiny little steps. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Relax your forehead down and come to ragdoll pose. So you want to relax your upper body. Begin to grab onto your opposite elbows. Slowly start to sway from side to side. Think about making a figure 8 pattern with your arms. Relax your upper body. Release any tension, any tightness that you're holding in the head and the neck. Just breathe into this movement and allow yourself to release and relax. Once you're ready, pause here, find stillness. Release your hands down to your mat. Slowly start to toe heel your feet in towards midline. Bring your feet about hip distance apart. Very slowly start to round your back and stand up tall. So just take your time coming up. And once you're in a standing position, we're going to come to Tadasana or mountain pose. So start to root your feet into the earth. Gently tuck your pelvis, engage your abdominals, lift your chest and roll your shoulders back. Rotate your arms open so that the palms of your hands are facing in front of you. Begin to take a deep breath in through your nose, and then a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Good. I'm going to work on a little bit of balance here. So bring your hands to prayer center. We'll come into a one-legged Tadasana pose. Start by coming up onto the ball of your right foot. Make sure you're engaging your abdominals and lifting through the chest. Once you're ready, you can lift your right leg off of the mat. Good. Continue to breathe here. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, lower your foot down to the mat. Gently pedal out your legs one at a time. Then once you're ready, we'll come to the opposite side. So you can pause here, start to engage your abdominals, lift your chest. Once you're ready, begin to come up onto the ball of your left foot this time. Once you feel supported and rooted down, you can start to lift your left leg off of the mat and come into your one-legged Tadasana. Remember to keep breathing here. Let's take one more inhale. Then as you exhale, lower your foot down to the mat. Once again, go ahead and pedal out the feet one at a time. And then you can relax your arms down to the sides of your body. Find stillness here. Begin to step your right foot back. Come to Warrior One stance. So for Warrior One stance, your right leg is pointed out at about a 45-degree angle. Bend through your front knee. You want to make sure that your front knee is stacked over your front ankle. So you may need to move your stance a little bit wider, especially if you have long legs. Begin to angle your pelvis so that your upper body is facing the top of your mat or the short end of your mat. Take your hands to your hips, gently tuck your pelvis and lift your chest. Stand up tall. You're welcome to stay right here in your Warrior One stance, or option to interlace your hands behind you for a gentle chest opener. You choose to do the chest opener, you can start to lift your arms a little bit. Take your gaze up to the ceiling. Really think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. Good. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, relax your arms down to the sides of your body. From here, rotate your back foot out even more to come to Warrior Two stance. So you're going to widen your stance a little bit. Bend through your front knee, and then your front knee should still be stacked over that front ankle. Your front heel should intersect the back arch of your foot. So there's a line from your heel to the back arch of your foot. Good. So take a moment, find your foot position. Once your feet are firmly rooted into the earth, you can take your hands to your hips if you'd like. Or for a little bit more shoulder exercise, you can reach your arms out towards the horizon. So you'll just tee out your arms. And then you can begin to take your gaze over your front middle finger. Good, just breathe here in your strong Warrior Two stance. On your next inhale, start to straighten your front leg and take the palms of your hands together overhead. As you exhale, bend your front knee and tee out your arms. Return to warrior two. We'll do that again. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach overhead. Exhale, return to warrior two stance. Let's do that twice more with our breath. Inhale and rise. Exhale, warrior two. One more time. Deep breath in, straighten the front leg, reach overhead. And then exhale, return to warrior two pose. Good. Pause here for a moment. Begin to straighten your front leg. Start to reach your arms as far forward as you can by hinging forward at the waist. Start to tick-tock your arms to earth and sky. Come to Trikonasana or triangle pose. For triangle pose, you can take your hand either to your calf, your ankle, or if you have a block hand, you can place your block on the outside of your left leg. Think about really opening through your chest. So rather than dumping down and looking at the ground, you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Use your core to rotate open. Good. Once you're ready, you can start to rise and return to warrior two stance. Bend your front knee, tee out your arms. And then relax your arms down to the sides of your body. From here, begin to step your back foot forward to meet your front foot so that you're standing near the top of your mat. Once you're standing towards the top of your mat, bend your knees very deeply. Take the palms of your hands down to your mat and step back to high plank pose. We'll hold here in high plank pose for a moment. Remember, option to bring your knees down to the mat. Think about engaging through the core, using your abdominals here. Once you're ready, lower both of your knees down to your mat. Take your knees wide out to the sides of your mat or come to child's pose. You can reach your fingertips to the top of the mat and relax your forehead down to the earth. You're welcome to use a block or blanket underneath your forehead for support if your forehead is not coming down to the mat. And slowly begin to rise and then come to face the long end of your mat. Begin to take the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to fall out wide for butterfly or Baddha Konasana pose. In this pose, we're stretching our inner thighs and hips. Your knees are coming up here and you're feeling tight in your hips today. You're always welcome to use some blocks for support. You'll place your blocks on the lowest setting and then just put your blocks underneath your legs. Good, let's just breathe here for a moment. Think about sending your breath to release and relax your inner thighs and hips. Let's take one more inhale and then exhale, let it go. Take your hands on the outside of your legs and then bring your knees in towards midline. If you're using blocks, go ahead and set those off to the side. We'll come to tabletop pose. Start to thread your legs behind you and come up onto your hands and onto your knees. Make sure your knees are stacked under your hips, and then make sure your wrists are stacked under your shoulders. Spread your fingertips out wide and take your gaze in front of you. We're going to do a few more cat-cows here. So on your next inhale, start to lift your chest and take your gaze slightly up. As you exhale, round through your back. Inhale, begin to rise, squeeze your shoulder blades together. exhale, hollow out your belly, round through your back. Inhale, lift through the chest, come into cow pose. Exhale, round the back for cat pose. Inhale and rise. Exhale, round through the back. Do that 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly release. Once more, inhale. And then exhale, let it go. Good, you can come back to a neutral spine. From here, start to sit up tall, and then we'll take our left leg this time in front of us, come to a low lunge. So bring that left leg in front of you, bend the left knee. Remember, if you want a deeper stretch, you can walk that left leg a little bit closer to the top of your mat. Take a moment here, find your balance. You're welcome to stay right here, or if you'd like to add a rotation, you can start to take your hands to prayer center. Slowly hinge forward from your waist, and then link your right elbow on the outside of your left thigh. Come into a prayer twist. As you breathe in, think about lengthening through the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, if it feels good, you can come a little bit deeper into your twist. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, unlink your elbow, relax your arms down, and then bring your knee in towards midline. We'll come into high plank pose here. So curl your toes under, lift your legs off of the mat. Remember, option to keep your knees down on the mat for high plank. Think about engaging your core, your abdominals. You might feel a little bit of heat in the body in this pose. We're really moving our energy and our prana. Once you're ready, slowly start to walk your feet up to meet your hands. So just take little baby steps. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take your feet about as wide as your mat. Relax your head down and come into ragdoll pose. And start to grab onto opposite elbows. And then start to sway your upper body from side to side. Make a figure 8 pattern with your upper body. Just think about relaxing and releasing your head and your neck. Once you feel complete, pause here, release your hands down to your mat, and very, very slowly begin to rise. Just take your time coming up. Stand up nice and slow. Then once you're standing, you can start to bring your feet in towards midline, so about hip distance apart. Come to Tadasana pose. Root your feet into the earth. Gently tuck your pelvis. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Open through the palms of your hands to open your chest. Think about lengthening through the crown of your head. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose. And then a long, slow exhale through our mouth. Do that one more time. Deep breath in through the nose. And then long, slow exhale through the mouth. Good. Begin to bring your hands to prayer center. Going to come into that one-legged Tadasana pose here. So start by coming up onto the ball of your right foot. So engage your core, lift your chest. And then once you're ready, you can lift your right leg off of the mat. Continue to breathe. Good. Take one more inhale and then exhale, lower your foot down to the mat. And gently pedal out your hips and walk your legs one at a time. And then once you're ready, find stillness. We'll come to one-legged Tadasana on the left side. So start to come up onto the ball of the left foot. Engage your core, lift your chest. And then once you feel ready, lift your left leg off of the mat. Find your breath. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, lower your left foot back down. Gently pedal out your legs one at a time. Good. Pause here, relax your arms down to the sides of your body. Begin to step your left leg behind you and come into your Warrior One stance. So for Warrior One pose, your left leg is pointed about a 45-degree angle. Bend through your front knee and then make sure that your front ankle is stacked under your front knee. So you might need to widen your stance a little bit. Notice what's feeling good for your body today. Gently tuck your tailbone and then angle your pelvis to face the short end of your mat. Roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. You can begin to take your hands to your hips. Stay right here, or if you'd like to add that chest opener, start to interlace your hands behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then take your gaze up to the ceiling. Good. Think about opening through the chest and the heart. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, relax your arms to the sides of your body. Begin to come into your Warrior Two stance. So you're going to widen your stance a little bit. This time your back foot is somewhere between a 90 and 45-degree angle. Bend through your front knee. Again, your front knee should be stacked over that front ankle. Your front heel should intersect the arch of your back foot. Good. Once your legs are in position, you can either take your hands to your hips or option to tee out the arms and reach towards the horizon. So you're really reaching with the fingertips. And then from here, you can begin to take your gaze over your front middle finger. Just breathe here for a moment into our powerful Warrior Two stance. On your next inhale, begin to straighten your front leg and take your hands overhead. Bring the palms of your hands together. As you exhale, bend your front knee, tee out the arms, and return to Warrior Two. Do that again. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach overhead. Exhale, come back to Warrior Two stance. Let's flow here with our breath. We'll do that twice more. Deep breath in. Exhale, release, Warrior Two. Once more, inhale, straighten the front leg, reach overhead. Exhale, Warrior Two pose. Good. Just pause here for a moment. Begin to straighten your front leg. From here, start to reach as far forward as you can with your arms. Angle from your waist. Start to tick-tock your arms to earth and sky as you come into Trikonasana or triangle pose. So remember, your hand can either be at your calf, your ankle, or you can use a block if you have a block handy. Think about, rather than dumping down, looking at the ground, you want to open through the chest. So think about squeezing your shoulder blades together, using your core to really open through the chest. Good. Once you're ready, start to rise and come back to Warrior Two. You can relax your arms down to the sides of your body. Begin to step your back foot forward to meet your front foot so that you're standing towards the top of your mat. Bend your knees very deeply and take your hands down to your mat. Step back to high plank. Option here to lower your knees to the mat. We'll hold here in high plank for just a moment. Once you're ready, lower both of your knees down to the mat. Take your knees wide out to the sides of your mat. We'll come to child's pose. Begin to reach your fingertips to the top of the mat and relax your forehead down to the earth. Remember, you can use that block or blanket underneath your forehead for a little bit of support. Begin to rise from your child's pose and come onto your sit bones. You're going to rotate, flip your body over, bend your knees, and reach your arms in front of you. Use your abdominals to very slowly lower yourself into a lying position. So just lower yourself down to your mat. Once you're lying on your mat, you're going to hug both of your knees into your chest. Start to slowly rock from side to side. Give yourself a little bit of a back massage. So you can make a figure 8 pattern. You can move in a circular pattern. Just notice what feels good in your body today. Once you're ready, find stillness here. Release your hands from your legs. Keep your knees bent and bring the soles of your feet close to your hips. We're going to come into bridge pose. So for bridge pose, take the palms of your hands down to your mat. Engage your glutes to lift your hips off of the floor. If you'd like to come into a deeper bridge pose, you can interlace your hands underneath your body. And then one at a time, rock your shoulder blades underneath you. Lift your chest by squeezing your glutes. Gently squeeze your inner thighs together. Keep your gaze up towards the sky. So you want to look up towards the ceiling. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, release your hands and slowly lower your hips back down to the mat. From here, extend your legs out long, point through your toes, reach your arms overhead, and come into a full body stretch. So we're coming into stick pose. And in stick pose, think about reaching through your fingertips, reaching through your toes, lengthening and expanding through your entire body. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax your arms to the sides of your body. Begin to rock onto one side and use your hand to push yourself up. Come to a seated position and take your hands to prayer center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.